Hi, I'm Kim Horton, Mayor of Absecon. The city, along with the New Jersey Department of Transportation and Office of Safety, Bicycle, and Pedestrian Programs, is working to create a bicycle safety action plan. The main objective of this project is to advance our goal of attaining Transit Village designation around our train station and improving bicycle and pedestrian accessibility and mobility throughout the city. The project will help us to identify areas of opportunity for bicycle lanes, pedestrian improvements, streetscaping, and so much more. I encourage you to participate in the study and help us to attain our goals and make Absecon a bicycle-friendly and transit-oriented place. I would like to now introduce Bill Revere from the New Jersey Department of Transportation to talk about the grant that we received.
Hi, I'm Bill Revere, Principal Planner at NJDOT in the Bureau of Safety, Bicycle, and Pedestrian Programs, and Project Manager for the LTA program. The purpose of the program is to offer technical assistance to a community in order to improve bicycle and pedestrian safety and access. NJDOT acts as the facilitator, and we've assigned Sam Schwartz Consulting, an expert in bicycle and pedestrian planning, to perform the work. The program is almost 20 years old, and there have been over 80 plans prepared. The most important thing to remember is that while Sam Schwartz is an expert in bike ped planning, you are the experts on Absecon. We'll be relying on your input to make this study as valuable as possible, and we'll be discussing ways for you to give that input shortly. Now back to the Sam Schwartz team.
Hello, and welcome to this series of informational videos on the City of Absecon Bicycle and Pedestrian Safety Action Plan project. During this presentation, we'll discuss the data collection efforts completed thus far. We'll give you an idea of the potential pedestrian and bicycle-related improvements that will come from this project. We'll mention the ways you can get involved, and at the conclusion, we'll go over the next steps. An extensive data collection effort allows us to paint a picture of the existing transportation conditions of Absecon, with special focus on pedestrian and bicycle transportation. The project team has collected traffic volume data, historical crash data, transit data, mapping data, researched previous planning studies and proposed projects, and completed a field inventory of 8 selected streets for focus, known in this project as priority corridors. A field inventory was conducted for the 8 priority corridors. These corridors were identified by the city and confirmed by the project's steering committee. Along each of these corridors, measurements were taken and roadway and sidewalk conditions were noted. The selected priority corridors include the following: New Jersey Avenue, Station Avenue, Ohio Avenue, Shore Road, Faunce Landing Road, Pitney Road, Mill Road, and Morton Avenue, which becomes 10th Avenue north of Crestview. The information collected during the data collection phase in the project was then utilized to complete several different analyses. First, a bicycle level of traffic stress analysis, known as LTS, was conducted. There are 4 different levels of stress, as shown in this graphic. LTS levels are determined by roadway features, such as speed limit, traffic volumes, lane width, and number of lanes. On roadways with LTS level 1, bicyclists of all ages and abilities should feel comfortable riding these roads. These roadways are characterized by minimal and low-speed traffic. LTS 2 indicates that the road could be comfortably ridden by the general adult population. While traffic volumes are higher here than LTS 1 roads, traffic volumes are still minimal and speeds are still relatively slow. LTS 3 is considered comfortable for bicyclists who are more confident, as these roadways tend to have both higher speeds and higher traffic volumes than LTS 1 and 2. And finally, LTS 4 is a level that may be uncomfortable for most bicyclists, but acceptable for experienced bicyclists. As shown on this map, there are a variety of stress levels found along the priority corridors. You'll see that some roadways, such as Pitney, changed LTS throughout the roadway. This could be due to roadway width changes or changes in the speed limit, which are both factors that determine the LTS level. The second analysis that was conducted is the sidewalk inventory and assessment. During the field inventory, sidewalk conditions were observed, inventoried, and categorized as good, fair, poor, or missing. Looking at this map, you can see that there is a variety of different conditions existing along Absecon sidewalks. An objective of this report is to identify gaps in the pedestrian network. As you can see in the map, there are segments of missing sidewalk in various locations along the priority corridors. You'll see that there is no sidewalk along Pitney Road on the north side of Absecon. We understand that the city has plans to extend sidewalk near Marsh Elementary School and Adelaide Middle School, and will consider this when identifying proposed sidewalk connections. The final analysis of assessing existing conditions included a look at bicycle and pedestrian crashes that occurred within Absecon during the most recent 5-year period. On this map, you can see that a majority of crashes took place on US Route 30, with a significant number also occurring on Pitney Road, South Shore Road, and New Jersey Avenue. While this project is focused on pedestrian and bicycle safety, we also looked at the locations of vehicle crashes over the most recent 3-year period. This map shows the hot spots for these crashes, most of which fall along US Route 30. You'll see that many occurred at US Route 30 and Mill Road. The New Jersey Department of Transportation is currently working on this intersection to improve safety. So we'll be focusing less on this intersection, but we'll examine other US 30 locations to make safety improvement recommendations where crashes were common. With these crash maps, we're showing you the crash data that we've collected. But looking ahead, what and where are some unsafe conditions that we can address before they become a problem? When providing input, we encourage you to identify locations around Absecon where you think there are potential crash issues, or perhaps where you see some near-miss incidents. After a thorough review of the analysis conducted and obtaining public input, recommendations will be made for each of the priority corridors. Some of the recommendations could include the following. Several treatments that we will be considering include Federal Highway Administration proven safety countermeasures, tactical urbanism treatments, bicycle facilities, connections to transit, traffic calming measures, and pedestrian safety treatments. The Federal Highway Administration has selected safety countermeasures based on proven effectiveness and benefits to encourage widespread implementation of these improvements by state, tribal, and local transportation agencies to reduce serious injuries and fatalities on roadways. When possible, we will include some of these recommendations and countermeasures in the plan. Also known as do-it-yourself urbanism, this approach refers to a city, organizational, and/or citizen-led approach to neighborhood community building, using short-term, low-cost, and scalable interventions to catalyze long-term change. This technique can be looked at as a demonstration of proposed improvements, and the community can experience the benefits associated with the proposed improvements. Due to the pandemic, you may have already seen an increase of tactical urbanism in many towns. For example, there have been recent efforts to help restaurants reopen by allowing them to provide more outdoor seating on the street side. The two images here are examples of tactical urbanism that can be seen in New Jersey. The image on the left is a parklet that was built in Montclair. A parklet is typically an extension of the sidewalk and exists in on-street parking spaces to provide more space and amenities for pedestrians and patrons. Parklets do not have to be permanent. On the right are examples of painted curb extensions in Jersey City. The painted design can provide a sense of community and uniqueness to a neighborhood. There are a wide variety of bicycle facility types, each more or less appropriate depending on the roadway conditions and the bicycle LTS from the existing conditions analysis. In order from left to right, these options should be utilized from highest to lowest traffic volumes. Therefore, a shared use path may be most appropriate adjacent to a road with LTS 4, while a shared roadway may be most appropriate for a road with LTS 1. A critical goal identified in this plan is to provide safe, convenient, accessible, and equitable connections to public transportation facilities in Absecon. The images below are some examples of measures that can be taken to enhance multimodal connections. Some recommendations specific to pedestrians that may be seen in the Safety Action Plan include pedestrian crossing islands, sidewalk improvements, and pedestrian hybrid or rapid rectangular flashing beacons. You may be familiar with the rapid rectangular flashing beacon that currently exists at the Pitney Road entrance to the elementary and middle schools. Traffic calming measures include curb extensions, also known as bump outs, neck downs, chicanes, speed humps, raised crosswalks, and raised intersections. The intent of these measures are to encourage drivers to slow down. Lastly, some larger improvements that may be recommended include road diets, which are also known as lane reductions, turning movement improvements, and modern roundabouts. To learn more about these treatments on this slide and the previous slides and how they increase pedestrian and bicycle safety, resources with links are available on the project website. Now that you've learned about the project and what we've done so far and what some of the potential recommendations are, it's your turn. We need feedback from you, as you are the experts of your community. Tell us about what you would like to see. You already know there is a project website since you found this video. The website is your place to provide valuable feedback in multiple ways. First, the website contains a link to a survey to share your experiences walking and bicycling around Absecon. Second, we have provided a fun interactive mapping tool for you to map your experiences as well. You can use the map to identify any barriers or obstacles to walking, or perhaps you want to tell us about a desired walking route. In addition to this video, we have provided a separate video that provides an overview and tutorial of the mapping tool. Additionally, the website contains a comment form and a live chat if you would like to discuss your questions and/or comments directly with our project team. Now that you've watched this informational video, we encourage you to fill out the survey and use the mapping tool on the website. Once we've received your feedback, we will begin to develop recommendations. After these recommendations have been made, we will present them back to you, either through another series of informational videos like this one, in person at an event depending on social distancing policies, or through a live streaming presentation. Once these recommendations are presented, we will once again gather feedback from you and use that information to refine and finalize our recommendations and complete the safety action plan. Thank you for watching this video and learning how to get involved with the City of Absecon Bicycle and Pedestrian Safety Action Plan. We look forward to hearing from you.